As I point out all the time, these false idols, these musicians, these quote-unquote celebrities that people look up to and worship, continue to do the bidding for the New World Order. They are on the front lines, brainwashing the masses into whatever agendas they tell them to do. And like I've mentioned many times on this channel, the race war, the homosexual agenda, the transgender agenda, you see all these celebrities out there supporting the do without will mindset, brainwashing people into accepting it. That's how we've gotten to where we are now, where people are okay with women taking dumps in the men's room and men taking dumps in the women's room, and it's a debate that people actually have, even though it sounds like the most ridiculous thing of all time for people to be debating and caring about. If you gotta go, you go, right? But apparently not, according to the celebrities out there who are brainwashing people with this Baphomet garbage, this one-sex, one-gender world we live in. But now we see Eminem, who I've exposed on this channel before. Eminem, who always likes to make mention of him selling his soul and his worship of Satan. His song 3 o'clock in the morning, which, if those of you that don't know, 3 a.m. is when they usually perform these rituals, these murders, these sacrifices, the devil's hour, where you see Eminem actually committing murder and all sorts of things, and people cheer and applaud it. You see all the Masonic symbols, of course, in Eminem's videos. And it goes on and on, the vile filth that comes out of this guy's mouth, the fact that he's in his 40s and he still acts and talks like this. If you actually listen to the song he just released, coincidentally, it came out right before the debate the other night, called Campaign Speech. Apparently, the internet's in a buzz over 40-something-year-old guy rapping and cursing like a 10-year-old, embarrassing himself, embarrassing the human race. Because if you actually listen, and I don't recommend anyone listen to this because it's filled with vile language and filled with perversion, and just it's disgusting and it's embarrassing that this guy can even walk around claiming he's an adult talking how he talks. And when people look up to this, they emulate it. To me, it's hilarious. And I can't even read the lyrics in the songs because they're so bad. Plus, you probably don't want to hear me reading rap lyrics because I'll sound like a fool. But the lyrics are just filled with nothing but garbage and propaganda. So he came out with this song Campaign Speech right before the debate. What a coincidence, right? Just like Jay-Z came out with a song, hours after another one of these police false flag events occurred. Jay-Z just happened to release a song and said, oh, well, I've been working on it for years. Oh, and he just happened to release it right when this event happened. All of this stuff is all part of the mind control. They use the lyrics, they use their quote-unquote celebrity to influence and brainwash people. So Eminem releases this song Campaign Speech, which is, it's laughable, it's embarrassing if you listen to it, but again, I don't recommend it. Where he is pushing more Illuminati propaganda, of course, siding with Hillary Clinton over Donald Trump, making fun of Donald Trump, which is all part of this grand plan that they have where they are, making fun of Trump, trying to make Hillary look better, and of course having the celebrities endorse Hillary is all part of their plan. That's why you see all of these celebrities like Robert De Niro, all of them coming forward, attacking him for whatever reason. Even Howard Stern endorsing Hillary, even though Howard Stern, has Donald Trump on the show dozens of times. They've been seen together at Knicks games. They've been seen together out in public. He's endorsing Hillary, even though he's good friends with Trump. It's all part of the charade and the brainwashing. So let me get into some of the agendas being pushed here in Eminem's new song, Campaign Speech. So, of course, as we're seeing with Beyonce, Lady Gaga has a new album and a new song as well. We see the mentioning of Trayvon Martin. It's already been exposed by countless people out there, countless people who have investigated the event revolving around Trayvon Martin, which was just this massive, massive thing. Of course, the father is a Freemason. I mean, it's all part of, you see the same, connect the dot theme here with the Freemasons, with all of this stuff. But he, of course, has to mention in his new song coming out an hour before the last debate, Trayvon Martin. So he pushes the race war. I guess I'll just read the line. I don't think this one has cursing in it. And dressing George Zimmerman in a fluorescent orange dress and 4-inch heels to address the court with a bullseye on his back. His whole chest and torso are left on the doorsteps of Trayvon's dad as a present for him. So we see that. We see the mention of Colin Kaepernick, which I've talked about a while ago. Most of you might not be aware of this because I don't think a lot of you follow sports and stuff like that. Colin Kaepernick is the guy taking the knee during the national anthem in the NFL. He's getting commended, even though he can't play football worth a lick. He's getting commended for taking a knee before he's pushing the race war is what he's doing. Instead of focusing on his job or anything like that, they're pretending that he's a social figure and, he's making a huge stand by taking a knee during the national anthem. It's all done to cause division. So he mentions him, of course. He mentions get slapped with Colin Kaepernick's practice sock. That is the lyric, because Colin Kaepernick was wearing socks during practice, which depicted police police officer as pigs on the sock. So we have Eminem pushing that. We have him bashing Donald Trump and, some of the things out there about Trump. And, of course, bashing the people who support Donald Trump. Like we see all of these quote-unquote celebrities doing over and over. And this is how the mind control works. Because people, they don't even realize when they're listening to music that they're being programmed. They hear it and they're like, oh, it's a nice beat or whatever. The lyrics are processing in their brain. That's how mind control works. They're in an alpha state of mind when they're listening, so they don't realize that their brain is still processing the lyrics and processing the message. That is why this push and this obsession with music exists. It is one of the top tools that they use for brainwashing, as well as casting spells out on the people. Of course, then we have Eminem talking about police officer who killed Eric Garner. He goes after him, and so he's talking over and over about the race war, which is the common theme that the musicians are pushing right now. And of course, he goes on and on about Donald Trump, making fun of him and cursing up a storm about him and about his followers. He says, "Run the faucet. I'm about to dunk a bunch of Trump supporters underwater." I don't know if that's supposed to be funny. To me, it's embarrassing. I mean, it's embarrassing to me. It's embarrassing how people listen to stuff like this, how people look up to these people, how they admire them, how they talk and act. This isn't what men are supposed to do or how men are supposed to act, but this is the new stage of men in our world. People like Eminem, who, and he only has songs about killing his wife and things like that, but people admire him and look up to him, and it's this whole hypocrisy that we live in, where you see other things happen with domestic violence, which I, of course, don't condone or support. I think it's disgusting and disgraceful that men would sink to that type of a level. It's really embarrassing on behalf of men that people do that. But we see people, go after people like Trump, who's saying some things here, which is all part of the plan about, women and groping them. But Eminem can rap about killing and beating his wife. And I know it's different because Trump's quote-unquote running for president, even though he's not running for president because it's not real and he's not running against anything. He's been picked to be the scapegoat here to make Hillary look better. It's pretty clear at this point. Unless, of course, something happens that would keep Obama in, like I've been talking about. But, you have the double standard where they're glorifying Eminem over this awful song that he's written, despite the fact that he's talked about so many things in regards to murder, selling his soul to Satan, and all that stuff. So this deliberately, comes out the day of the election. People are going nuts. Oh, it's inspiring. Oh, it's to influence you. That's the whole point. They're trying to influence people. Why do you think they're all talking about the cop shootings and the race war? Okay, you think Eminem, if somebody really got shot by a cop, you think Eminem really cares? Okay, do you think Beyonce really cares? This is part of an agenda. Okay, and they're using not just their music to manipulate you into agendas, but they're doing it to influence you. They want, and people ask me, they go, well, why would they be endorsing Hillary if the elections aren't real and votes don't count? Because they still have to convince people that they want Hillary or that Hillary's okay or the better choice. Okay? If they had somebody running against Hillary, if Hillary has been the one they've hand-chosen for so long, they have to have somebody incompetent running against her. People would say maybe the election is rigged. Maybe it is fake because Hillary has the WikiLeaks and all this stuff, and how could people be supportive of her? Well, they had to have somebody run against her that looks incompetent, but the masses need to be convinced still, that she's the right choice and be okay with it. They don't want an uprising, literally an uprising, against the government because Hillary gets put in office and people don't buy it that she won, or people buy it that think it's rigged. They want people to be supporting her, and that's why these celebrities are all endorsing her, because they know by using their influence and saying she's going to be great and she's trustworthy, that people out there will go, oh, okay, Eminem likes her, or Beyonce likes her, or Katy Perry likes her. I guess I should too. That's how it works. That's how they've gotten all these agendas pushed. Okay, that's why you see De Niro and all these guys going after Trump, because they want to convince everyone out there that Hillary's, is good and it's okay, and don't be afraid and go along with it, because they want to make sure everybody's on board going along with their plan. They don't want any hiccups now with their pre-selected president here. So this is what we're seeing: Eminem's campaign speech, more propaganda, more brainwashing. Of course, what a coincidence! It comes out right before the third and final debate, just like I said about Jay-Z's song coming out hours after a police shooting. I mean, it's such a joke that people can't see this stuff and wake up for themselves and say, oh, what a coincidence, or what a convenience that is, that these things happen at certain times, or that people actually see these celebrities, and instead of going, I don't need somebody who, sings rhyme lyrics, or whatever Eminem does, he rhymes words, and it just sounds like a moron. I don't need to be influenced, or I shouldn't be influenced by who he thinks should be president. But people don't even do that because they don't realize Because a lot of people are too prideful, and they go, I'm not influenced by Katy Perry and who she says to vote for. Yeah, they are. They don't even realize that they're planting seeds in their brain. They don't realize that all of this charade about Trump has been to get people on board and into accepting Hillary as president, or if Obama happens to stay, which is starting to look unlikely at this point, but still, one or the other. But to make it look like, okay, we're going to be okay with it because at least it's not Trump, at least it's not him. That's what they're doing here. And that's why all of them are coming forward and doing it, including Eminem, another puppet of the elite. It's hilarious to me. People write on the Eminem video that I did exposing him, oh, he broke away from the Illuminati or the occult, that he's not one of them. All you got to do is listen to his lyrics. He broke away from them. Listen to what he talks about, selling his soul and worshiping Satan, and the 3 o'clock video. And there's tons of videos that he's done which are all satanic. His bloodbath, for crying out loud. He's in a bath of blood, which I've said is a common theme for them. We've seen it with Lil Wayne. All of them, the bloodbath, the rebaptism into the occult. Because when people become Satanists, guess what? They're sitting in a pool of blood. They get baptized in blood. So this is what we're seeing now, more and more of this propaganda coming out. I wanted to point it out because I saw that it came out before the debate, or the next day, I should say, but I saw it was released before the debate. And it's just ridiculous to me as they push these race war agendas and all this other stuff, and they push the acceptance of Hillary, and people still don't realize it. They're saying, well, they just want to get their opinion out there. None of these guys care. They know it's not real. They know these people are hand-selected. The point is to convince everybody out there to go along with the agenda so that there isn't an uprising, that there isn't something that goes on, that everybody's brainwashed and coaxed into thinking that this is the right decision because, well, if it was Trump, we'd be in real trouble. That's what they're doing here. So people need to be aware of that stuff, and they should be able to see the signs for themselves because it's so blatantly obvious at this point. It's not even, it's like you just roll your eyes at this point when you see this nonsense. So here's Eminem again, showing his colors with the elitists, with the Illuminati, a puppet for them, with his awful rap song campaign speech. It should just be called Give Me a Break, because really, give me a break, Eminem. What a joke. I thank you for listening to today's show. God bless all of you and your families.